Hello, everyone. Welcome back once again. I am Nicodemus Kane. Today is October the 24th of 2022, closing in on that most satanic of holly days, Halloween. Maybe you ought to really look into where that comes from. The reasons why you dress your children up and you tell them that the one day of the week where it's okay, excuse me, where it's okay to go out and accept candy from strangers, give themselves over to this evil. The one day where churches seem to think that it's okay to sell themselves out into pagan traditions. Actually, it's the third day where one of the 3 days where churches seem to think that it's okay to sell themselves out to pagan traditions and allow their flock to run around in the parking lots pulling candy from strangers out of the trunks of their cars. Think about that for a second. You remember back in the day when the truly evil, perverted whack jobs used to tempt children out of the trunks of their cars with candy and would kidnap them and throw them in their trunks and then drive away. You remember when that happened? And I remember that. I remember that was the thing in the 80s. That was the thing. You never took candy from strangers. You never got into the car and you never went to the trunk of a kidnapper in order to take candy. I mean, I've been approached by people that I didn't know that asked me to get into their car, that asked me to help them put something in their trunk. I've been there as a kid. I remember these things. I'm still here because I was always told don't do that stuff. But now they have you have churches that want to make sure that the kids are okay, so much so that they will create a Halloween in their parking lots and have the kids go around from car to car accepting candy from people that they don't know out of their trunks. Think about that for a second, man. Tell me that this world is not fallen completely, that there is not just a pure evil. I've already had a day. I've already had a morning. Oh, believe me, I've already had a morning. I am our I'll go ahead and say it. I don't care. Our granddaughter um, has been expressing more and more that she wants to be a boy. Now, of course, 6 months ago she wanted to be a dog. So, I mean, I'm not putting any stock into it, and I am more than happy to talk to her and tell her, no, I mean, why would you want to be a boy? Why would you really want to? You're a girl. You get to grow up to be a beautiful woman. You get to grow up and have children and be loving and kind to them and be thoughtful to them. And you get to have all of these things that boys don't get to have. I would be more than happy to talk to her about that and tell her that. But I can't trust her mother to be the person to sway her onto the right path, because her mother, and I knew that it was a bad idea whenever we started going down this road, when everybody was saying, oh, we're not worried about you know the gender of the clothes that she wears. She wears any kind of shirt she wants. If she wants to wear pants or jeans, that's fine, but she still wears dresses. So we still got that going on. And she wanted to get dressed up in a beautiful dress the other day, and I loved it and I thought it was great. But at the same time, we are still hearing this I want to be a boy nonsense. They pretend pretended like they were drawing mustaches and beards on each other. That's not something you do when you have a 4-year-old girl that says that she wants to be a boy. Especially not in this climate where they are allowing kids to take hormones in school without the parents' permission. And I cannot trust her mother. My stepdaughter. I cannot trust her to do the right thing here. And I'm having a hard conflict with that. I'm having a really hard conflict with that. Not only that, of course, today, the reason that I'm recording, the reason that I'm even recording is that I didn't get approved for my overtime. I said that I was going to be doing some overtime because we need the money. I need the cash. We have some things that are happening. We now have a trip that we may be having to take in November. I may have to go back down to Florida. And we were saving up some cash, and we were hoping that my overtime, which if I could work 10 hours of overtime a week, that's $200 extra on my paycheck. That's a good amount of money. But I didn't get approved. I didn't get approved because my quota was 1 point below where it should have been, and my error rate was too high. You know why my error rate is too high? It's because I'm going fast. Because they want this stuff out as fast as possible. They've already told us that if they could, they would put us all on overtime because they want this stuff out. Apparently, we are a year behind where we should be. This is what my work is telling me. We're a year behind, and they want us to go as fast as possible. Yet, they want us to quit messing up. So it's like, what do you want us to do? The slower we go, the better the quality is. The faster we go, the worse the quality is. They've had conversations about this. But I didn't get approved. So now I don't get to work overtime. I need it. They need it. But I don't get it. Whatever. Need a 6.0 quota, and I got a 5.9. They said 15% error rate, I got a 25. Whatever, man. Whatever. So, anyways, I'm here. And since I'm here, and since I am doing nothing, because I woke up early in order just to log in, I even rushed to hurry to log in, because I was running late, and there was an update on the computer, and I just knew I wasn't going to be able to make it. But as soon as I got that email, I was like, well, let's read some of God's Word. Let's read His Word. Let's find out what He wants for us to hear today. This is the way it should be anyways. This is probably a sign from God that I should be doing this. I had a really good experience on Saturday. I'm glad that we woke up and we read Isaiah 55 and we had the talk. And we really got to be able to focus on the Word more. I really, really enjoyed that. We might do that more. I might do a big Saturday video from now on, because that was, and we had a good time. Oh, we had a good time. We went out to Brown County. I don't know if anybody knows that. It's in Indiana. We went down to Brown County. Sadly, we didn't do what we wanted. So they have a lake down there. They have several trails down there that you can, walk through and do all the stuff. But we couldn't go down and park at the lake that we wanted to walk around because the lot was full. Because everybody and their mother decided they wanted to go to Brown County. We didn't plan that. It just happened. It was one of those things where it was like, hey, let's go to Brown County this weekend. But everybody else decided to do it too. And it was a beautiful day, amazing, beautiful day. And we couldn't park by the lake. We should have picked another trail, but we didn't. So we parked up at the top of the lake. Had to walk a mile down to the lake. And by the time we got down to the lake, we were exhausted. I was like, I don't want to go around a lake like this. I am done. I'm over it. It was all downhill, and the only thing I was thinking was, crap, now we got to walk back up that thing to get back to the car, you know? So, of course, we got down there, we rested for a little bit. We, just took in the view, took in the air, took in whatever. Hauled all the way back up. Just about died going back up that hill, but got back up the hill, got back to the car. We were both exhausted. But then drove home. Beautiful, beautiful scenery all the way through, and it was just enjoying what God has given us. Just enjoying the amazingness of everything. And it was a really, really good day. Got home that night. It was really good, and we didn't do much of anything, and it was really nice. We just had a day off to enjoy life. It was cool. Of course, then Sunday we worked our butts off in the yard, and I am still physically exhausted. I am still hurting. The backs of my calves are killing me right now, and I've been stretching them, trying to get them to go back into place. Um. Anyways, oh great, my timer on my video has stopped working. That's awesome. Well, hopefully I'm still recording. This is stopped at 4 minutes and 58 seconds, and I know I've been recording for 11 minutes. So hopefully this is still recording. Yeah, sometimes we get these weirdy glitches. You guys know this. So anyways, we'll see if it keeps going. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, then I'll re-record this sometime, I guess. Okay, so this is Isaiah 56. That's what we're going to read today. Let's get this ready. I'm hoping I'm still recording. This would be just another one of those things where I wake up, couldn't do the thing that I wanted to do, and then I find out that I recorded and the recording didn't even take. That's all I need. Isaiah 56. Thus saith the Lord, keep ye judgment, and do justice, for my salvation is near to come, and my righteousness to be revealed. Blessed is the man that doeth this, and the Son of Man that layeth hold on it, that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and keepeth his hand from doing any evil. There's a pilcrow right out of the box. Verse 3. Wow. All right. Going back to the top. Thus saith the Lord, keep ye judgment and do justice. Let me see what this says about justice. Now, also, we did have, my internet's been spotty all morning today, so I am in here, I am recording. If the internet went out, it will have nothing to do with me recording, so that should be okay, but justice, rightness, righteousness of the law of God, righteous acts. Keep ye judgment and do justice, do righteous works. For my salvation is near to come, and my righteousness to be revealed. Blessed is the man that doeth this, and the Son of Man that layeth hold on it, that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and keepeth his hand from doing any evil. I am not perfect with the Sabbath. I admit that 100%. There are people that I know that I personally think take it to an extreme. Take it to that point that they will do absolutely nothing for a whole day. And I don't, when you read the book and it tells you just to keep it holy, keep it a holy day, keep it a day of rest where you don't do anything. You worship God. It's for Him. It's a day for thanking Him and loving Him and enjoying what He has given you. But I've heard so many different things about the Sabbath. Don't leave the house. Don't cook food. Don't do any work whatsoever. Don't go out there and make anybody else do anything for you. Don't exist in this world. I've heard so many different things. So many different things to the point that is like if you were to follow everything that everybody says about Sabbath, you would probably not be doing it right even if you were just laying in bed doing nothing. It's just it's a bit much. I think the Sabbath is about praising God, thanking God. But it's not completely about. I think it's got to be more about just taking that day off, thanking the Father, worshiping Him. If you want to eat food, eat food. If you don't, you don't. If you want to go out and take a walk, enjoy life, do that. If you don't, then don't. I'm still hung up on the making other people work for you thing. A lot of people want to say that's the biggest part about it, but you would have to cut everything off. See, this is the trick of it. This is the weirdest trick of it here. Do not let others work for you. Or do not, make others work for you. Going out to a restaurant, yeah, there might be a problem there. I can get that. I can understand that. Because you're actually physically making somebody work for you. Going out to a store to buy things, you can say that might be a problem. But if you really want to stop people from doing anything for you, you have to think about the things going on in the backgrounds. What about the electric company? What about the water company? What about the people that do sewage? What about the people that haul trash? These people work in the background constantly. They're working for you. What about that? What about the mailman? The post office. The post office runs on Saturdays. There is a man right now, if you mailed a letter, there is a man that would be taking that mail, processing that mail on a Saturday. That would be your fault. See, that's where it gets tricky. And some people want to hold it to the law, to the letter of the law, 100%. And if you hold the Sabbath to the letter of the law, you have to understand that you can't do a lot of things. It's a tricky situation. Because these things that we take for granted, the electricity, the water, the postman, whatever, these things are constantly working in the background. There's constantly somebody there. It's not all completely run by machines yet. You listen to the radio. If you listen to the radio, and if it's somebody that's not, doing it on a recording, they're working for you. You're getting entertainment out of them. There's this tricky situation there. Were these background things made so that we cannot perfectly follow the Sabbath? Who knows? At the same time, though, Christ told the Pharisees and the Sadducees, who always got mad at him whenever he was doing something on the Sabbath, saying, "Oh, why are you and your disciples eating on the Sabbath? Why are you and your disciples, healing people on the Sabbath? Why are you praying this way why are you not, here and there and whatever?" And what if it's not what we think it is? I mean, you can do whatever you want. Again, I think that I think that absolutely getting together, congregating, and being a part of a church, loving each other and caring for each other, I think that's good. And I think that the minimum amount of work that you can cause other people to have, I think that's a good thing. I think we should all have that moment where we're just not working, because the Sabbath was there so that we would not be slaves. It was made for man so that we could have that day off, so that we would not be slaves. Because a big part of that, I think, is the Egyptians, the Romans. These guys would make people work 7 days a week. You never had a rest. Excuse me. You never once had a rest. That's why it talks about that seventh day being the rest. That is the rest in God that you get. That's if you want to follow it, the 1,000 years for a day thing, where it's 6,000 years, and then the 7,000th year is that 1,000 year rest in Christ. If you want to follow that, it's that rest. And he always says, he is your rest. You will come to him and rest. You will be, what's the word I'm looking for? You will not have that burden upon you anymore. You will be free of working of this world. You will be free of that slavery of this world, if that makes any sense. So I look at the Sabbath a completely different way, and I can tell you this much. If I were to tell that to 5 other people, 5 other random people, I would get 5 different responses. I don't know. I don't know what true Sabbath keeping means. I don't think any of us do, because I think it has been distorted and pushed around and manipulated so much. I don't know what it means anymore. I really don't. I'd like to see what some people do. See if I can find something that tends to match what I'm understanding. But again, man, you ask 5 different people, what the hell are they going to say? And even then, are you right? Sabbath it's a tricky situation. It's a very tricky situation. So, do I keep the Sabbaths of Christ? Probably not the way he wants. Probably not. And I know I am not perfect, and I don't know if I will ever be perfect enough. Do I want to? Yes. But I need to know if what I'm doing is right. I don't want to just half-ass it, So that answers a question. Somebody asked me that a while back. I do all my big work on Sundays. Saturday is my day of rest. It's always been my day of rest, even before I was saved, which is weird, because I think back on that and I'm like, yeah, that's always been that way. I've always said Saturday is my day off, where I get to do what I want to do. And then Sunday, I mow the lawn. Sunday, I do the laundry. Sunday, I, do whatever. Sunday, I go out and I shop. Sunday, I go to the grocery store. That's the way it's always been. I've been like that for the past 25 years, since I've been out on my own. Saturday is my day of rest. Sunday is my day to go do work. I didn't mean it like that. It's just the way it happened. I don't know. Anyways, now that I've gone off that tangent, and again, it's complicated, man. It really is. I've looked into several different things, and it just, you can't find any 2 ways of keeping Sabbath that seem to make sense. Everybody's got something different. So until I find something perfect, I gotta do what I gotta do. Maybe that's what we're supposed to do. Just do what you do. I don't know. It's a very tricky situation. But it's a law, so trying to keep it's weird. Anyways, but yes, I do think that we should probably be doing videos on Saturdays. Again, that was a good time. That was a good time, and it made me feel good to do it. So we will definitely do more of those. Back to this, verse 3. Neither let the son of the stranger that hath joined himself to the Lord speak, saying, the Lord hath utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, behold, I am a dry tree. For thus saith the Lord unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbaths, and choose the things that please me, and take hold of my covenant. Even unto them will I give in mine house, and within my walls a place and a name better than of the sons and of daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. Also the sons of the stranger that join themselves to the Lord, to serve him, and to love the names of the Lord, and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servants, every one that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and taketh hold of my covenants. Even them will I bring to my holy mountain, and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon mine altar. For mine house shall be called an house of prayer for all people. The Lord God which gathered the outcasts of Israel saith, yet will I gather others to him, beside those that are gathered unto him. And there's a Pilcrow on 9. I have got to take a drink here. One of the things I did yesterday was I mowed the yard. Actually, I mowed the leaves. Let's be honest, I mowed the leaves. And I got some bad stuff in my lungs. Whew. My wife said it's probably all the dust and the dirt and the mold spores that was inside of the leaves. But yes, I mowed the leaves. And every time I made a pass, just this massive wall of dust and crap. I was covered in dirt and dust and everything whenever I came back inside. It was just, we've been so dry. It's been a dry year. It's been a really dry year. So wet earlier in the year, caused the basement to flood. Now it's just been dry as a bone. Everything out there is so dry. Not to mention the walk that we did on Saturday that just about tore us apart. Then I had to come out there yesterday and just make it worse. All right, back up to verse 3. Neither let the son of the stranger that hath joined himself to the Lord speak, saying, the Lord hath utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, behold, I am a dry tree. Let's talk about that for a second. One of the things that we've been seeing for the past, 10 verses, maybe, give or take, 5-10 verses, has been accepting the strangers. Accepting those that are not of the tribe of Israel, that are not of Jerusalem. Those that will come from far and wide, those that he will make a path for them to find their way, those that I still say, at the end of time, the Gentiles will come and they will say, surely we have inherited lies, my big verse that I like. We've seen that over and over again, where all of these people will come and they will all be accepted. Neither let the son of the stranger that hath joined himself to the Lord. This is a stranger. This is somebody that is not of Israel, joining himself to the Lord, saying, the Lord hath utterly separated me from his people. When you come to the Lord, join yourself to the Lord, follow his commandments, follow what he wants you to do, follow his judgments, his whatever, follow his righteousness, you are not separated from Israel. You are a part of them. You're grafted into the tree. That's what the Bible says. There is no special people at the end of days. Everyone is allowed to be saved. Don't let anyone fool you. We can talk about the races of people and the creeds of people and, you know, all of these things which had something to do with it somewhere along the line. But in the end, no one people will be saved. Everyone has that chance. Don't let anyone tell you that they are better than you simply because of their bloodline. And again, there are about 3 or 4 groups of people like that out there right now that are going out of their ways to discourage you from the truth. Everybody is allowed to come in, but you have to follow God, what God wants. Follow his ways. Neither let the eunuch say, "Behold, I am a dry tree." That is the eunuch. That is someone who has lost their ability to have sexual relations, their ability to make children, saying, "I am a dry tree." This is a family tree we're talking about. It's a tree that's dried up, that cannot bear fruit anymore. For thus saith the Lord unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbaths, the eunuchs that keep my Sabbaths, and choose the things that please me, and take hold of my covenants, even unto them will I give in mine house and within my walls a place and a name better than of sons and of daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. People that cannot bear any children. People that have not borne any children. I fall under the category of well, not completely, but I fall under that category. I almost said I fall under the category of a eunuch, but no, I have not lost my genitals yet. But I fall under that category. I've never had a child. I've never had the ability to have kids on my own. It may or may not have happened with an ex. I don't know if that was my kid or not. But she had a miscarriage. She had a miscarriage 3 days after she told me. And I found out she was cheating on me the entire time that we were together. So, you know, I don't even know if it was mine. I don't know if she purposely had the way that the miscarriage happened. The way I understand it, the way the miscarriage happened is that there are certain things that you can drink, certain things that you can do to your body, and they will produce certain things that are very similar to how she had to go to the hospital. I'm not going into details, but I only learned that way after the fact. You know, I told somebody, and it was like, "Well, have you ever heard of yada 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 and all this?" And I'm like, "What?" And like, "Yeah, you know, this is a way to do it." And have you ever even questioned if it was your kid or not? And I was like, "Oh crap!" So it all kind of makes sense, but I've never had a kid. But joining to God, being brought into his house, into his everlasting life, he will give me a name forever. He will allow me, well, what did it say? What did it say exactly? My walls, a place and a name better than of sons and of daughters. Something better than just having kids. And that name will last forever. Now, I suppose that's fine. I still wouldn't mind being able to raise my own child. Of Of course, at the same time, trying to raise a child in this world, I don't know. I've been convicted a lot lately that I should probably be having a kid somehow, but I don't know. That's a completely different discussion for a different thing. This is saying, though, that for the strangers, for the eunuchs that come in, those that cannot bear children, those that are not part of Israel, those that are not part of his people, they will be allowed in, and they will have a name better than if you were just going out there and having a bunch of sons and daughters. I will give them an everlasting name, and that shall not be cut off. And the sons of the stranger that join themselves to the Lord to serve him and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servants, every one that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and taketh hold of my covenant, even them will I bring to my holy mountain, and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon mine altar. For mine house shall be called an house of prayer for all people. Not just for some of them, for all of them. Remember, this goes back to Abraham. This goes all the way back. If they choose to come and be with us, all they have to do is follow their ways, and you will allow the stranger in. They just have to make sure they follow our ways. They be better than what they came from. Some Joe Schmo off the street that used to go out and rob and steal and cheat and hurt and kill and all this other kind of stuff. If he wants to be saved, if he wants to change his way, no matter what his bloodline is, if he wants to come in and if he wants to be saved and be a part of this, he turns away from his ways. He gives up the stealing and the killing and whatever. He accepts that salvation and starts doing better. He will be accepted in. Remember, that's the old, it's the saying that I've held to, is that when you get to heaven, there's going to be a lot of people there that you didn't expect to be there. People that may have completely turned and changed their ways and had followed the ways that God wanted them to follow. And they were allowed to come in. People that you know were the worst people in the world, thought that you knew were the worst people in the world, they're going to get in. And then there's going to be those people that say that they are part of the system, say that they are part of God's plan, say that they are, have been following his word and all this other kind of stuff. And they're not going to get in. And those are the ones that are going to be outside the walls screaming, have we not prophesied in your name? Have we not spread your word? Have we not did this, not done that? And he will say, I didn't know you. I don't know you. Just because you call on my name and do all these things, it doesn't mean. You have to ask for forgiveness. Call upon the name of the Lord. Love his name. What else did it say here exactly? That join themselves to the Lord, to serve him, to love the name of the Lord, to be his servants. Everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and taketh hold of my covenant. I still have this problem with, if you just call upon the name of Christ and ask him for salvation, you will be saved, and that's all you have to do. That's it. There you go. If he changes your heart and changes your mind, and pulls you out of that. And if you start repenting of your evil, then yeah, there you go. Hey, you got it. You just got saved. But for those other people, there's some people that they just simply say, "Oh, my heart belongs to Christ," and then they go off and they backstabbing liars, cheaters. I've seen people like that. That's not it. That's not it. There's more to it. He changes something in your heart. You want to be better. And you feel it when you get pulled back into this evil, sick world, and you fall back a little bit and you feel it and you're just like, I don't want that. Father, please forgive me. Please help me become better. What else can I do here to take this away? And he starts telling you, get rid of these things that might sway you. Get rid of these things that might destroy you. Take everything you have and sell it. Give it to the poor. You can live with nothing. I've found that out. I've started thinking about that. I found that out that minimalists, and I see it a lot with the work that I do. I get a glimpse into people's houses. Yes, I get that. I actually get a glimpse into people's houses, and there's people that just have bare walls. And I always wondered, how could you live with bare walls? Because everywhere I've ever lived, my grandparents, my father, my mother, um, everyone in my family, we keep photos. We keep, paintings, art, knickknacks, collections of stuff all over the walls. It gives you a sense of home, of being in a place. And some people just don't have that. And I kind of get that. Some people just don't need that stuff. Maybe these people were raised to not keep whatever it is in their house because they were just getting rid of evil. I don't know. I have a lot of the things that I used to keep out. A lot of the things that I used to keep that I would definitely say would take me down a path that I don't need to go down. A lot of the imagery I used to keep up, it's just not there anymore. I used to keep sick photos and posters and skulls, death, all these things. I don't need that anymore. I've brightened up my life. That comes from it, though. That comes from being pulled out of the mess. He saves you. He changes you. He changes your heart. You become a different person. You become born again into something better. And you get rid of those things. I don't even like watching horror movies anymore. I'm a completely different person. If you knew me 5 years ago, and you know me now, you'd know that, I'm a completely different person. I don't listen to certain types of music anymore. I'm having a conflict of interest because I want to start playing music again, but I don't know if I should be joining a rock band or not. And I still have a problem with Christian music. So I'm conflicted. I'm really conflicted. But that's what it is. It's joining yourself to the Father. It's wanting to change your ways in order to make him happy, because he did this for you. Not only that, you find out that he made all of this for you. You find out that your entire life has been looked after by him, and that everything that has happened in your life was something that he did to steer you towards this path. And it blows your mind. It just absolutely blows your mind. And it's for everybody. It's not just for certain people. It's not just for a certain people that tells you, you're not going to get in. It's only us that's going to get in. And again, there's several groups out there that are like that will go out of the way to tell you that you're going to be their slaves, you're going to be their servants, you're going to be all of this stuff. And it's like, no, everything I ever see is the only one that we're going to serve is going to be God, not man. Where was I at? For mine house shall be called a house of prayer for all people. Verse 8. The Lord God which gathereth the outcasts of Israel saith, Yet will I gather others to him, beside those that are gathered unto him. The Lord God which gathereth the outcasts of Israel saith, the outcasts of Israel says, Yet will I gather other to him, beside those that are gathered unto him. He will gather more people to him besides those that are already gathered there. There will be more that will be pulled into it other than the ones that he already has. So in other words, yes, there will be people other than just the house of Israel that will be pulled in, even though Israel is his chosen people. But at the end, there will be more that will be able to come in. Verse 9. All ye beasts of the field come to devour, yea, all ye beasts in the forest. His watchmen are blind, they are all ignorant, they are all dumb dogs, they cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. Yea, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough, and they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, every one for his gain, from his quarter. Come ye, say they, I will fetch wine, and we will fill ourselves with strong drink, and tomorrow shall be as this day, and much more abundant. So let's go back to verse 9 again. All ye beasts of the field come to devour, yea, all ye beasts in the forest. His watchmen are blind. This is God's watchmen. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. All of his watchmen are blind. Let me make sure that's exactly what we're talking about here. His watchmen are blind. Which I agree with. There are many watchmen right now. I'm sure there's probably somebody that could come up with a different way of explaining this. But I know that there are people out there that there are some guys on YouTube and there are some guys on BitChute that are amazing putting all these things together. Sometimes I think they're a little too repetitive, but I get it. They're every single little thing they see, they have to. That's what you have to do. If you're a watchman on the wall and you warn the people, and the people don't listen, the blood is on their hands. But if you're a watchman on the wall and if you don't say anything about what you see coming, that blood is on your hands. That is something that I've had to put up with myself, to try to tell people, look, you've got some bad shit coming here. We've got some bad stuff coming here, man. I've talked about the money in the beast system, and I've talked about the microchips, and I've talked about the ID 2020, and I've talked about the patent, the 060606, and digital currencies, everything. It all adds up to a slave system. And once you become part of that slave system, it just degenerates into worse and worse slavery. And you will eventually have nothing. They've already told you that. You will own nothing and you will be happy. And I've said it over and over and over again. You have to understand that these things have been set in place for a long time. This stuff has been set in place for a long, long time. And they're slowly creeping up. And they have the ability, through all of these terrible healthcare acts, that they can force you to take this. It's not going to take much. It really isn't. It's just a little bit more pushing, and it's going to be where the governments of the world can simply say, you don't get health care unless you follow our ways. In order to follow our ways, you have to take all of these injections. You have to take all of these tests. And you have to be fitted for the microchip that tells us that you've had X amount of shots, X amount of this, X amount of that. That system is in place. They haven't turned it on yet, but they could very easily do that. Matched with the ID 2020, where everybody has a digital identification, which so many people in this world don't. They don't need it because so many people don't use a computer. They don't care. They don't have to. They don't have to. But in order for them to be able to control money, to be able to control the currency of this world, the energy of this world, currency, get it? That's what they call it. Remember, the English language was invented, or what? Not invented so much. It was what do you want to call it? Okay, let's just say invented, because I can't think of a better word. Manipulated. The English language was manipulated in order to manipulate you. How does that work? It was invented in order to be able to confuse you and trap you. All of these dual meanings. They are only there to hurt you, destroy you. But this digital currency, that is your energy that you put into it, that you still have the ability to be able to use cash in a system that will not track you everywhere you go. As soon as they take away the cash from you, they can simply turn the money off and on. It's interesting. Facebook reminded me of something that happened, what was it, 7-8 years ago, in America, where they it's like the food stamp cards stopped working for a week or something crazy, and I predicted it. There was they were saying something about they were going to be testing the systems, and that the food stamp cards were going to be affected, that they had to watch out. And I had said, because there was something about there was going to be food problems, or I don't know what it was. It was like 6 years ago. I was watching videos. It had to have been 6 years ago. And I was saying, this is something to look out for. I bet you any amount of money, this is how they wind up taking away the cards, and when they start doing something else to us. And sure enough, it was like the next day, the cards went down for a week. And I was like, I told you so. Look what just happened. Is that the cards went down and all these people couldn't get food for a while. And it was just this complete nightmare cluster that nobody could get food. Nobody could buy what they needed. And that could very easily happen to us. They take away your cash. They take away your ability to make transactions outside of their system. And their system goes down. What's going to happen? What's going to happen is you're not going to have your money. You can't go to your bank to withdraw your money, which is garbage anyways. That you're not going to be able to buy food. You won't be able to buy gas. You won't be able to pay your bills. What's going to happen when nobody can pay their bills? They just did a test run to see what would happen if nobody had a job. And yet the country still somehow managed to survive. So what'd they do? They just took away more jobs. Then they started handing out free money. What happened whenever they started handing out free money? Well, people started staying home, doing nothing. There are still people that are making more on unemployment right now than they were if they would just go back to work. We still have shortages in restaurants. We still have shortages at grocery stores of people working. We still have signs up to say, please excuse us, we don't have a full staff. Because people are making more money sitting at home doing nothing. There's people out there right now that were working minimum wage jobs that they got to sit home and do nothing. They're making more money than I am sitting on their ass. What do you think is going to happen? And it just keeps piling up like this. So they found out that they could very easily leave everybody at home, pay them a fixed amount of money per month, and they could survive and they could live, and they're not complaining. Nobody's complaining about working. Of course, we could talk about the BLM discount if you want to go talk about that. I mean, yeah, it's 100% off. You could talk about roving gangs of teenagers that are, busting into department stores, grocery stores, guys that are walking out with cartloads of stuff, and the grocery stores don't try to stop them. It's like, that's when people still have money. What's going to happen when they don't? But they did this. They set it up like this. They did it like this. They ran the test. They ran the test on us all, and they found out that they could do it. And they want disorder and chaos. They want it all to fall apart. This is order out of chaos. This is the phoenix rising from the ashes. You're not the phoenix. You're the ashes. You're going to be the one on the bottom that is killed and destroyed. And there are so many people that are not warning against these things. The watchmen. This is tying it back together. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They do not see the signs. They see something happening, but they don't know that it's a sign. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark. Sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. If you are hearing my voice right now, and if you know the things I'm talking about, if you see it out there, if you know it's coming, you need to say it to someone else. You need to open your mouth, talk to people, get it out there. I have actually, one of the first things I said when I started recording these things is, don't listen to me. Don't do it. Do the research for yourself. Go look at it for yourself. And then start your own channel. Start your own YouTube channel. Start your own BitChute channel. Don't be scared of it. Please, for crying out loud, don't be one of these guys that gets on there and just types it out either. I mean, even if you don't speak, there are text to voice applications that you can use that will help people hear it. Because there's a lot of people now that don't even watch videos; they'll just listen to videos. So you have to talk. You have to hear it. I will skip right over a video where it's just text. I'm like, whatever. Make your own videos. Get out there, do it. Don't be afraid of it. You have to speak up. If you see it coming, and you know that it's coming right at us. You have to be a watchman. You have to know. Don't be afraid of it either. Don't be afraid of losing everything you have. Don't be afraid of losing your friends, your family. I mean, if that's what you're worried about, then you're still stuck in this world, and I'm sorry that this isn't for you. This isn't for you, and you're probably not going to get pulled out of this. You can have friends and family, and that's fine. But Christ said he didn't come here to bring people together. He came here to divide. Mother against son, father against daughter, brother against brother. What do you think that means? Is they won't want to hear the truth. They won't want to hear the truth because they want to live in their own unrighteousness. They want the things of this world. They're not going to hear it. They don't want to hear it. But you have to warn them. If you don't warn them, that blood's going to be on your hands. You have to open your mouth. You have to get it out there. You have to show these people. And maybe, hopefully, something they hear will click and they will want to have it. Or they will want to change their ways. They'll want to at least find the truth. And when they get to that point, then they can tell others. This is how this works. This is the true way that we get people to open their minds, to open their eyes, to see it. There are some people that are going to be lost. And I hate that idea, but it is what it is. And there are some people that you would never even think that are going to be chosen. And there are going to be some, my nose is starting to act up. There are going to be some that are going to hear your message and are going to do 5 times more with it than you can. And it's going to be a beautiful thing. And you can't be jealous of it. You have to understand that there's going to be somebody that's going to be able to take your word and make it better. Oh, that's going to be so glorious. Oh, that'd be so amazing. Can you imagine that? Could you imagine? I can't even imagine. I can't even fathom that any video that I've done, that one person could have watched any of these videos that I've done, just me sitting here rambling on like a lunatic, could have taken this and gone out and made their own YouTube channel, made their own videos, are preaching and talking about the same exact things that I am, except they're reaching 5 times more people than I am. That's incredible. That would blow my mind. That would absolutely blow my mind. But let them have it. You know, the word needs to go out. These people need to know. We're in trouble here. This is not. It's not a good world anymore. This is not the world I grew up in, and it's definitely not the world that I wanted to see when I grew up. The world that I thought that I would be a part of when I grew up, and we are so close to losing everything. Everything. These people have to be woken up, but we have to wake these people up. Verse 11, yea, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough. And they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain, from his quarter. These are the watchmen that are dumb and ignorant and blind, which are greedy dogs that can never have enough. Oh, I know some greedy dogs that can never have enough. You feed my dogs, and an hour later they're wanting more. It's ridiculous. And they are shepherds that cannot understand. And I get that one too. I am a shepherd that sometimes I don't understand, so I keep looking. I have to keep looking. I have to keep trying to understand. I fit that category. I am a shepherd that cannot understand. I know enough. Do I know it all? No, I don't. That's why I have to keep looking. there are things that I still have to learn. I am not a perfect being. I've told everybody this from the first day I've started doing this, is don't listen to me, don't believe me, go out and find your own way, because I am a nobody. I am a nothing. I am a guy with a computer and a Bible, and all I can really do is just repeat stuff that I hear. If I go out and find it in the real world, I will go out and I will show you 100%, but I'm not perfect. I can't trust a lot of teachers, but I will do my best to try to give you as good of an understanding as I can. So yes, I fall into those categories. They all look to their own way. That's me. Everyone for his gain. That's not me. From his quarter. It's very easy. It would be very easy and simple. I am so tired of these truthers that beg for money, pander for money, pander for anything. Do the advertisements, do the spots, do the whatever within a minute of a video. They're like trying to sell you something, and it's like, ugh. And then there's other guys that like save it till the very end. And, that's okay. I get that. I mean, if you've got good information, if you made me watch your video all the way through to the end, and then you try to sell me something, hey, sure, why not? But the guys that they want to get it out of the way because, they get the most amount of money for their whatever, that just drives me up a wall. It's sickening, really. It's, truth should be extremely free. It should, to hear the truther guys, the YouTube conspiracy theorist celebrities, that's what I call them now, conspiracy celebrities, that they got famous on YouTube, and they're now doing talks around the country where they go around and they'll go to a place and you have to pay $150 to see them. I could talk about Flattoberfest. Just happened down in Tennessee this past weekend. You could talk about what was it, $200 tickets. I don't remember how much they were. It was a lot. It was more than I was like, I don't even know half the people that are going to be there. Why would I want to pay that much money it's crazy. It's what it is. It's what it is. It's these people have found out that they can make money being truthers. So they will put it out there in any way possible, advertise in any way possible. Let me tell you the truth. But first, a word from our sponsor. They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain from his quarter. And I could very easily just sit here and beg you for money. I lost my overtime. Send me some money. Oh, God. It's sickening to a point. The way some of them do it, And they try to use there's a lot of them that I see that try to use the survival gear stuff. And, some of that's okay. Try this new flashlight. Try this new backpack. Try this new whatever. Try to save you some money. Then there's the other ones. The truthers that do like Raid Shadow Legends. Or, they do, what was the one? Oh, there's some guy on BitChute that does casinos, and it drives me up a wall. Ugh. And he does like three or four ads in a video. It's like a 30-minute video, and like at least a third of that video is for online casinos or lotteries or something ridiculous. It's just like, oh man. Then of course we could talk about the guys that do the videos for the gold and the silver. The ones that start out like, or the ones that are titled something like, money is dying, the cashless system is coming, all this stuff, we should be prepared. And you get in there, and it's one big infomercial where the guy is the YouTuber is interviewing some expert, air quotes, about silver and gold, about how to invest in silver and gold so that you won't be taken aback whenever the cashless society comes in. And you find out that this guy has a book. Not only does he have a book, but he works for a place that sells silver and gold. So it becomes an advertisement. It's an advertisement for this guy's website. And you're like, oh God, I just got taken in by a freaking infomercial. They're only in it for their own gain. And I've seen it so much over and over and over again. And there's only so many truthers out there anymore that I'm just like, I want to give them money because they don't pander. They make something, they put it out there, and they say, if you want to buy it, buy it. If you don't, you don't. And if you don't, you can wait for a year and they'll put it up for free anyways. That's what truth should be. Truth should be free. And it should be everywhere. And we should be doing everything in our power to be able to get it out. Because people need to hear it. If you're a watchman, if you're hearing my voice, you need to be the next person to take it and run with it. You need to take it and run with it at this point. I don't know how you can do it. You may think that you can't do it, but recording yourself on your phone is not that hard. It really isn't. Everybody's got a phone. Everybody can make videos. Everybody can make a YouTube channel unless you've been banned from YouTube, which I'm pretty close, so I know what that's like. But BitChute, same way. You can make a video, upload it to BitChute. We got to do this, man. We got to get it out there. Verse 12. Let's finish this up. Come ye, say they, I will fetch wine, and we will fill ourselves with strong drink, and tomorrow shall be as this day, and much more abundance. Come ye, they say, I will fetch wine, and we will fill ourselves with strong drink. We will just party the day away. Tomorrow shall be just as this day, and even better. Even though we're the watchmen, and we know that, there's something coming, don't worry about it. Tomorrow's going to be better. You know what? Tomorrow's going to be the same as this day. It's going to be more abundant. So what you should do is you should go buy some gold from, such and such gold.com. Make sure that you have enough money for tomorrow so that your investments can be secure whenever the cashless society. Don't worry about buying food. Don't worry about buying any of these things that will help you. Buy gold. Buy silver, buy gold, buy some investments, buy some Bitcoin. Buy all of these things that do nothing but enhance the currency, the modern currency. Because you got to remember that all these things, Bitcoin, gold, silver, are only worth what the people of this world are going to be willing to buy for them. Food is what you're going to be willing to have to eat. So you have to choose. You have to choose. All right, I'm going to stop there so that I can start getting ready for real work, because, I got to sit here and do nothing for 2 hours. Thanks for that job. Thanks for nothing. I want to email my supervisor back and just be like, thanks for nothing. Thanks. You could have told me this on Friday. You could have told me this halfway through the week last week that I wasn't doing so good, that I could have, maybe either picked it up or started watching something, but nope. You had to wait until Monday. And this would have been the week. I got it last week, so, at least I got 10 hours overtime last week, but whatever. God will provide. I'm not really worried about it. We're still good. We're still in a good place. Food has become a nightmare, but it's become a nightmare for everybody, and I understand that. And it's not going to get any better. They want it to get worse, so they're going to make it get worse. I've talked about this before. They want people starving and hurting and revolting and causing an uprising. And yes, we should be causing an uprising. We absolutely should be. We should be telling them that we're tired of this. But there's so many people that just want to sit on their hands and do nothing. That they just want to go along and get along. And it's like, you can't go along and get along anymore. This isn't... They are closing their fists. They are ringing us all in. And what's coming is far worse than what is out there right now. Once you go cashless, and then you start talking about climate taxes, carbon taxes, a tax just simply for living, and then they start taking your money away. They start taking everything, every resource away from you. If you start speaking up about it, then they're really going to shut you off. What happens then? Think about that. Your ID will be digital, which means that you will not be able to use a computer unless you have that identification. So you won't be able to speak out. You won't be able to eat, provide for your family. You won't be able to do anything. You don't even own the land that you live on. You pay your property tax. That's a rent upon the land you live on. Is property tax. You've allowed the system to grow so big that they control everything now. And it doesn't get better, it gets worse. So I've just warned everybody. I've warned everybody of a lot of things that are coming. And they just keep coming. They just keep piling on the hits. And we can't sit on our hands anymore. We have to tell them. They're scared of us. How many times has people made the meme or shown the meme where it's, the politicians standing on the board over the cliff, and there's like 50 people standing on the board holding the politician up. All it takes is just, so many people just walking away. They're scared of that. They're scared of us. They keep talking about, taking guns away and stuff like that from the American people. And the retired Army general came out on a video and said, and I still can't find that damn video. If I can find that video, I'd go play it in a second. But he said they are not worried about armies from other countries. They are worried about 2 million people in America with guns. That's all it would take for all the firepower that they have, for all the the tanks and the jets and all this other kind of stuff. All it would take is 2 million people with guns showing up on the doorstep of the White House. That scares the shit out of them. They can't control that. 2 million people. That's less than 1% of the entire population of America. 200 million or 2 million people, not 200 million. 2 million people. Why do you think they're trying so hard to get rid of guns? Why do you think they're trying so hard to separate us? They're scared. They're absolutely scared, and it won't take much. We need to start standing up to it. You don't have to do violence. You just have to scare them back into control. And if they don't go back into control, well, then yeah, it's when we gotta talk. That's what if you believe your own histories, that's what they did in the Revolutionary War. They kept warning them over and over again. And whenever it started getting big, and that was whenever the British said, okay, fine, we're going to take away your guns because you're starting to get a little rowdy. And that's whenever the what do you call them, revolutionists? that's whenever the founding fathers got together and said, well, if you're not going to listen to us, we're going to have a war. And that's what they did. If you believe your own history. I don't even know anymore. I don't know. We got to get ourselves together. We got to do something. We got to do something or we're going to lose everything. And then we won't have to worry about working overtime. Or, I won't have to worry about my daughter or my granddaughter being subjected to lies. We won't have to worry about it anymore. It's not going to be there. So, on that bummer note, I will talk to you all later. God bless everyone. You take care of yourselves. You know what? It still says 4 minutes and 58 seconds. The record button is still on, but the timer is still stopped. Now, have I lost every single bit of this? I don't know. So I'm going to hit the button, and I'm going to go find out. And if it worked, then you will be getting an upload. If not, then... So anyways, if you are hearing this, and if you are a watchman, or if you consider yourself a watchman, spread it. Tell people. You don't have to show them this, because I am not the best orator in the world, but at least tell people. Go look up the things. ID 2020, Agenda 30, Agenda 2030. There's a new one now, Agenda 2050. There's a new one. They got plans for us all the way up until 2050. World Economic Forum. Tell people about that. Klaus Schwab, you will own nothing and you will be happy. Digital currencies. Look at what the digital currencies, CBDCs. Show people what's coming. Start telling them about the places that are already going cashless. There are concerts. I had some friends that went to a concert last night, and all I can think about is there are two problems with that. The first thing is the concert venue that they went to requires that you get your shots. And the second thing is that concert venue has gone completely cashless. I don't get to go to concerts anymore. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. But I don't get to go to concerts anymore because I refuse to be a part of a system that's planning my downfall. That's what that is. If you don't understand what that means, then it is what it is. If you want to keep going to your concerts and enjoying all your good stuff, that's fine. But you have to know that these people are planning your downfall. So don't be a part of the system. But go look this stuff up. Patent number WO 2020-060606. It's a part of it. Every single last bit of it has to do with controlling money, controlling you to be able to control money. You won't be able to buy or sell. You won't be able to simply afford food. There will be nothing. And it gets far worse the deeper you get it. Once you really, really go deep into this stuff, it's diabolical. Diabolos. I I cannot remember which language it comes from, but it's satanic. Diabolical is satanic. It's evil. Some people have taken the evil out of diabolical, but no, diabolical is satanic. It's evil. And you can't choose the lesser of two evils anymore. You have to start choosing the good. We've allowed evil to fester because we've constantly chosen the lesser of two evils. We've gone with the devil that we know. We can't go with the devils anymore. You can't. Everything that the English language was created in order to be able to hurt us and harm us. Let's put it that way. I'm going to get going. I'm going to quit talking. There's a lot more I could say, but I have to go blow my nose. I have to start warming up the computers for work. I have to go get some kind of breakfast. God bless you all. Take care of yourselves. That's all I got to say. Hopefully this turns out. I'll see you guys later.